Welcome back, my ballers and my stylers. My name is whatever you want it to be, and I am back with another episode of Front Office 9 Football by Solecismic Software. If you are new to this series, we are following the Carolina Hellcats, or the Carolina Panthers as they're known in real life. We just finished up our first season, so now we're going to be going into the off-season. You can see in the previous season, we went 6-11 in the NFC South. Didn't do so well on the offensive front nor the defensive front. Jadeveon Clowney was pretty much our only sizable contribution on our defensive side. I mean, like Scott Jamie Robinson had a decent amount of interceptions. Our offense was absolutely anemic, splitting time between Bryce Young and Andy Dalton. In real life, Bryce Young kind of had a pickup season. In this save, he is not too good. This is going to be basically when the year is over, what do you want to do? What you want to do basically is go to this pencil over here. So let's simulate the 28 days. And you can see that the last season statistics and records, the roster and contracts have also rolled over as well. So statistics you can still check, and the overview, league overview over here. So you can see Sam Darnold in Minnesota, just like he did in real life, passing touchdowns, he went kind of off. So we'll see if he makes that transition over in 2026, in the 2025 year that we were playing in. You can see a new 5-year TV contract. So every single 5 years, 3 years, depending on how long the TV contract goes, your salary cap will increase. So you can, in this game, if you get out to like the 2060s, 2070s, you can have a pretty large salary cap and some pretty extreme contracts. So it's always good to keep mindful about the increasing salary cap, because I've only ever seen it go up, not really down. We simulate one day through here. Mainly, most of the offseason is spent in this tab here, working around with our team overview to our manage and the draft as well, which comes up on April 22nd, so about a month and a half away. With the upcoming real life draft as well, we can still change the ticketing plan if we so like. Genuinely, when it comes to the stadiums, as this is a screen that would pop up for you, we don't need a new stadium just yet. Ours did open in 1996, so about 30 years ago, but we don't have much support for it. I'd say more in like the 50s with lower loyalty, you can look to building a stadium. So coming back to it, even though we have the third oldest team, we have some growing support. We don't need to do that this season. That's not a financial budget we need to put into our. That's not a financial thing we need the budget for right now. When we can focus on our ticket prices. So we can see our ticket prices for last year, $164 for the upper deck, and these are pretty middling ticket prices, all said and done. When it comes to our capacity, so 99.8%, you can see. That's what we like to see. So let's do the recommended prices. Just change the luxury boxes. So that's all we really needed to do. That's all the really expectation is. We shouldn't really see any sort of difference when it comes to our financial increases, because at this price point, we were already hitting 99.8% of our capacity of our stadium. And let's continue to the staff retention period. So we kind of have a question: if do we want to keep these guys around? When it comes to coaching staff, they obviously have ratings right here that you can take a peek at. All of these things have different impacts on basically what you're trying to build your team to be. So we have the player development, young players. If you want something more, if you have a very young team, you're drafting a lot of guys, you want to focus on coaches that can develop players, develop young players, and also motivate them as well. So this allows young players to reach their full potential, develop to their full potential. If you have high volatility guys, you can have them reach their full potential rather than full risk of losing their attributes. If you have more of a veteran-centered roster, I would say you want to go more for discipline, so they prevent penalties and have a good play calling as well. So we can see with Dave Canales, he's a pretty average coach in the grand scheme of this game. His intelligence being 100 is pretty nice. This just means that he will, like play calling, he'll call more intelligent plays for the situation that's found if he is a determined play caller. His interviewing, though, and scouting, those directly relate to the draft. I will give Dave Canales another run because we have 4 years, and I will actually probably replace Brad Idzik, because you can see that he's decent on scouting and interviews, but I think that he was probably our main reason why we weren't doing so well on the offensive front, with his intelligence, play calling, discipline, and motivation not being so well. He's great for developing the young guys. I was hoping that he could maybe be a developer for Mingo and Xavier Legette as a wide receiver mainly focused, but I'm not really happy with the smash mouth playbook that he offers up. So we will not extend Brad Idzik. We will have to also replace Harold Goodwin as well, because his contract has expired as well. And we'll probably replace Kevin King. The check mark up here, that'll advance the day. And now we are in the hiring period for our coaches. We have the staff hiring period for head coaches. You may hire a head coach if you like. So if I do hire a head coach, like look at all these hundreds I see here, like Andy Reid, which would be absolutely crazy, and I don't think he would ever become the head coach of the Panthers. But say if I wanted to hire Andy Reid, that would automatically replace Dave Canales, even though he has 4 years on his contract, and you also have to buy out his contract, from what I've seen as well. So we're not going to do that because he already has 4 years on. I don't think that it was mainly his fault when it comes to our performance in this save. So we will just continue on. And now we're going to really be looking for our fresh look. Really liking Rich Bisaccia from here. He has good motivation, good discipline, good play calling as well. I do want to maybe, since we're focusing on the draft, look at a guy who can develop our players or develop young players. Looking at these over here, who is this guy? Quentin Blackman. He's a pretty good interviewer and intelligent scouter. I think we're going to go Rich Bisaccia, who is the assistant coach for the Green Bay, to be our new offensive coordinator. He's got the discipline, decent play calling. Let's hire on Rich Bisaccia as our offensive coordinator. So we're going to hire him to a 4-year contract at $2.5 million per year. It's been changed over to offensive coordinator. So he runs a West Coast running back style. So we'll also see how that changes. And we can continue. Now we're doing defensive coordinators. If we look at our roster real quick, we have no nose tackles to really make a 4-3 work. We can maybe try. We have no defensive line. I completely forgot we have like no defensive line. So like that looks good, like on base right here when it comes to Jerry Springer being a 4-3, but I don't know if we have the defensive line capabilities to really run an effective 4-3 under defense unless we made some additions in free agency and draft, which is objectively better than E.G. Evero. So actually, let's hire him, and we'll do a scheme change, and I'll show you how you can change your scheme over the offseason as well. So let's hire on Junior Springers as our defensive coordinator. But we can see now that our staff hiring period for assistant coaches, your coach is unsigned. You must re-sign this coach or hire a new coach today. So we're just going to hire a new guy entirely because Goodwin is not that good, ironically enough. But I usually like to have a good scouting or a good intelligence, good interview guy. So I'm thinking maybe we'll do this Quentin Blackman guy as much, but he will help us tremendously on getting accurate interviews and accurate scouting when it comes to the draft. So we're going to hire on Quentin Blackman. See, Kevin King is 30 and 30 in the most important parts of strength and conditioning, which is basically their ability to stay on the field and avoid injuries. He's not good at his job, so we're going to probably get a new guy automatically. Like Matt Ray right here is better. So we're just going to hire him. There's really no need not to. Entire coaching staff done. And now we can simulate the next day, and this will reveal the draft. We can see when it comes to the draft, this is in this tab again. We go pencil, manage, draft over here. After, on March 19th, 18th, around the things, they will show the preview of the draft, which will start about a month from now. So we can see we have some pretty decent quarterback prospects in the top 5, a defensive tackle, defensive end. We have the first overall pick from Arizona, which I think we got in that Derek Brown trade that we made. So we have the first and third overall pick. We might take one of these quarterbacks in comparison to Bryce Young for this game. In real life, obviously, there's no way that the Panthers are going to replace Bryce Young, which was picking him first overall 3 years ago. But again, this is a video game. And there is an outstanding dude right here. Schlinat? I don't know, I guess so. But 48 on the Solecismic is crazy. Loaded kickers. There's a kicker who did not go to the combine. Ooh boy, that could be fun. We will continue one day, and let's get to our franchise player deadline. So if you don't know what the franchise tag is, if you have pending free agents in this game, you can sign them to franchise player. You can only do this to one player, and it will be a 1-year contract for the average number of the cap numbers of the top 5 players in the league in this position group. And check that right here in top compensation. This gives you a general overview, I believe, of the top 50 paid players, so you can get a decent idea what like a quarterback franchise tag, which mainly quarterback salaries explode because of this franchise tag designation. But no, our franchise tag designation, so we can see like if we wanted the franchise tag Andy Dalton, that'd be $69 million. That would be dumb. So we're not going to do that. We could maybe justify franchise tagging Jordan Fuller. We could also just re-sign him in the offseason and free agency the next day. There's no one here who's like in like a 70 or like an 80 overall that's like needs a contract right now, or at least needs a contract at this price point. So we will continue, and this will show the league, who franchise. So as you can see, no quarterbacks got taken because most are already on those sort of contracts. We're not too far in the league where there's like the new drafted guys who are getting off their 5th-year option or something like that. But you can see a lot of 60s, 70s, 80s defensive ends, defensive tackles. Chris Godwin, jeez. I say Loudermilk, DJ Reed, which did not happen in real life. He's with the Lions right now. Brandon Stephens, and Garrett Bowles. That 29 mil for 7. Yeah, I'll take that in a heartbeat. So now, today is the first day of free agency. Free agency begins on the first day of free agency. You can only re-sign your own players with expired contracts. So if we go over here to our roster, again, manage, roster. We go to contracts right here. We have a full list of all the people who are on contract. I sorted by cap cost because that's the overall thing that we're looking at right now is our cap point. If we look, we have a lot of pending free agencies who either we need to re-sign or not re-sign. Looking at this, we can also probably renegotiate some of these contracts. So let's go to Taylor Moton, for example. He is making $35 million. That's the majority of our cap costs on the people that we do have on the roster. Again, we only have 27 people on the active roster, which is nuts for a 53-man roster. But we go to Taylor Moton. We go to contract over here. We can see we only have 49 million in current cap room right now. And Taylor Moton is on a $17 million salary with a $17 million bonus. So we could give him a little bit more increased bonus money, so guaranteed money, making it a little bit harder to release him in the now, but we will reduce his overall salary or cap point. And we can also adjust this too. I like getting a little bit of round numbers up here so they're more likely to accept. So maybe we'll do 8.4, 9.1, and 11.6. And you can see over here our cap cost going down from 35 to 30.9. And then in the next year, so we're extending it for next year, to 15 million, which I think you'll still be equitable at 32. So let's do the extension real quick, see if he accepts this. He will accept that. He only has $4 million in bonus money too. So next year, if he does have a magical decrease in ratings, he shouldn't be too hard of a cut to justify. But we go back here, you can see Taylor Moton is now at 30.9 cap cost rather than 35. Yes, so like Robert Hunt right here, he wants a cap out contract, which is very common. If you are in sort of a situation where you guys have a lot of money, sometimes they'll offer a cap out contract, so you don't even have to set it up. But he's looking to make only $1 million next year, $9 million in the next couple of years, but he wants $14 million guaranteed. So he wants $14 million spread over 4 years added to the $5 million that we have right here. Because that's going to cut our cap cost in half for next year. So that frees up about another $10 million to sign either some priority undrafted free agents or just some free agents coming off of their exclusive rights free agent contract. So we will probably take that at base, maybe try to get that a little bit cheaper. And he'll accept that straight. So now you can see that our cap room is going to go from 53 to 64. Now his contract's been renegotiated down. We probably can't now extend him even further because that his bonus money will outweigh his current salary. Let's do Jordan Fuller, for example, to explain my point. The franchise tag designation on Jordan Fuller. So that was like $29 million. He only wants $8 million, actually. So instead of renegotiating at that point where the player has leverage of a $29 million contract, renegotiate into more of a signing bonus so it makes it harder to cut them or try to spread it out over multiple years. We took that chance with Jordan Fuller. He's 27. We can get him now until he's 31 at a $15 million cap hit at only $3 million guaranteed in bonus money. I'll take that. So we will extend him here. So let's go. You can see Jordan Fuller is now in our active roster. We're now at 28 players. He is now on the books for a $9 million cap cost. So we can see with the contract, we've already signed this to the player. But if we go to Sean Robinson here, our available cap room has now gone down by $10 million. So by renegotiating Robert Hunt's contract and not just straight out releasing him and taking all that cap hit at one point, we are able to re-sign Jordan Fuller at a decent $9 million cap cost. So basically, we used Robert Hunt's money to then pay Jordan Fuller, who is a way better player in that aspect. And we're back, pending free agent re-signings. Basically, kept most of our core. And the good thing is that even though most of these guys are kind of bums, they are pretty cheap. Like, for example, I re-signed Tariq Castro Fields at a 40 overall to just a 2.1. A few of these guys I renegotiated, like Jadeveon Clowney, I extended his contract another year because he did actually really well on the defensive line. So I think we can probably keep him for at least another year or two. JC Horn, unfortunately, he was out for the entire year, and he's on the 5th-year option. I think that we take this deal for him too. So basically, we're going to be converting this $12 million unguaranteed salary. So like, if we wanted to release Tracy Horn, which would be dumb, we could do that with no cap penalty at all. But this is just the last one I wanted to show you guys of the contract that we're doing. This is an insane contract for someone of JC Horn's level talent. And so guys who get injured, you can try to re-sign them, but also be known that they could have some increased risk as well for his foot because of the torn foot ligament that he had. But yeah, we'll sign this contract. As you can see, we're going to have $31 million to work with. We got up from around 27 players, now 41 on the active roster. So we'll need to add around 13 between the draft and our free agent signings to meet our full roster requirements. Also, we do have a little bit of squeeze because of our draft. You can see our estimated draft cost is $26 million. So in reality, we have $58 million. But since we're selecting first and third overall, that's $19 million basically in cap space being hogged by those two players. If we take a look at our roster construction, we look at contracts as well. We can see Ian Book's not going to be coming back. Jordan Matthews not going to be coming back. Two of our wide receivers, Deontay Johnson, David Moore, not going to be coming back. Deontay Carter as a guard is not going to be coming back. So we probably need a center. We could maybe move Robert Hunt to center. That's probably what I was going to do. He's probably going to be absolutely terrible. Boom, 31. Now we have a center. Yay, good for Robert Hunt. We need a punter. Eddie Pinero's not going to be coming back because they absolutely slander him in this game, and I do not agree with that. Most of our defensive linemen ends are not going to be coming back, so we're looking for those in either the draft or free agency. I'm hoping that Trevin Wallace can step up, become the starter. We maybe try to get a decent fifth-round linebacker to supplement on the strong side. Let's go check out free agency real quick. So again, free agency, again, pencil best friend. We'll show here. This will show all of our current free agents that we have. This will show all of the top free agents that the league has. And then find a player over here is if you want to find a specific free agent for you. So guy, this is if you want to see the absolute top free agents. So we can see Odigizua, Andrew Thomas, Will Fries being a top. Whoa, okay. I didn't know he's that good. He's not that good in real life, but he's pretty decent. You can also see free agency runs through April 20th, a couple days before the draft. I am going to basically speed run this, and I'll be back when I'm done making our choices. Real quick, I do want to talk about these RFA people you may be seeing if you go to your team overview. RFAs are restricted free agents, so they can only negotiate with you in free agency. Technically, another team after free agency ends their first time and it goes into late free agency post draft. You can see after April 22nd, I think it's April 25th, these players then get released and could sign with other teams if they so wish. But just for this example, we'll go to LeBron Ray. If we do the contract here, we could resign him really cheaply, which I might just do for free agency. And the good thing is that if we do this here and sign him to this minimum contract, it's an instant signing. So there's no waiting. There's no waiting and seeing if, for example, here I offered DK Metcalf and Deebo Samuel some deals here. They're gonna have to wait until April 2nd or April 4th to see those execute. With our restricted free agents, they will sign immediately with us. When you're offering contracts to players, a quarterback, for example, let's look at Bailey Zappi right here. He's on the Kansas City Fountainheads, also, I believe, as a restricted free agent. We can actually check that over here. And if we go to Kansas City Fountainheads, we can see that Bailey Zappi is a restricted free agent right here. Go to Manage, find Players, Bailey Zappi. We can't offer him a contract till late free agency begins. So again, to prove my point, you can only negotiate with these restricted free agents. During late free agency, you can negotiate with these guys afterwards because they get released from their contracts. Russell Wilson. He only wants the same amount as Bailey Zappi, and he's on the Ironman. He's not a restricted free agent. We can see he's not an RFA. He is on the team because that's the team that he was contracted to the previous year. So we can see his contract. He has no contract, and we can offer him a non-guaranteed contract. Oh, he's frustrated. Whatever. We're not going to sign Russell Wilson then. Not like anybody wants to in real life anyway. We can see right here that our cap room after this offer will be $29,670,000.
But our available cap room is 30.9. If we offer this contract to Brett Ripien, which I will do right now, and say we go to, Baker Mayfield, that cap room hasn't changed because it doesn't start deducting from your cap until you've signed players. So be very mindful that you can easily overextend your cap by just trying to sign these random players, and the game will not warn you. So if I go to free agency here, I can see that I've already offered deals to DK Metcalf. Overall, right now, I can tell my cap maybe at like 15, 16 million I still have to work with. Mainly trying to fix our offensive problems in free agency, maybe try to look at the defense in the draft. Don't overextend yourself, signing everybody, signing left, right, and center, because you won't see that number go down until those players actually sign. And it's the 25th. So we can see that BJ Hill, his day is now turned red, and we offered him a contract. So there's no other offers to him right now. That I can see. So you can see his decisions pending. If we hit the check mark one more time, he should hypothetically sign with us. But if there's another team that will come in, it will show right here. So we'll see. He signed with us. Wonderful. So you can see now is the 26th of March. He is now past his day. We signed the 17th ranked top free agent, BJ Hill. Pretty decent contract. At 29 years old, we'll see if he actually plays through, but he could be an easy release candidate. I love his run defense. I love his pass rush strength. He's got good diagnosis and endurance. Again, these are the main things I'm looking for when it comes to my player evaluations. When it comes to the defensive line. So I'm going to continue our free agency, and I'll show you the end once we get to right before the draft. So coming back, I'm looking at Denico Autry for our defensive line as a little backup defensive end at 34. We can see after the signing of BJ Hill that our cap room has now gone down to 27.6. Still does not include the contracts that we've offered to DK Metcalf and Deebo Samuel and Brett Ripien. If we go to Denico Autry, again, take this amount, subtract from that, but it won't show you the full amounts of all your offers. But you can, if a safety valve, click these boxes if you don't want to overextend your cap, including your draft. So if you can remove all remaining offers to players at this position if he signs, so you can sign multiple people over the years. If you have these guys down in April or something like that, you could offer one to Jalen Holmes and one to Derek Barnett and say, if Jalen Holmes signs with me, I want to remove the contract from Derek Barnett because he's going to sign a couple days later, and I don't want to have two players at the same cap point. Just another thing to be mindful of, that you can sort of safeguard it if the specific player that you are signing signs. So make sure to click these boxes if you are getting a little bit cap short on your free agency and are looking for an ability to get a little bit control over the remaining offers you have on the table. So more fun. I've been trying to sign Marlon Humphrey because he did pretty decent last year, even at 28 on the Baltimore. But we have a competing offer. So when it comes to this, we can check whenever you see this. So you always want to sign to the day that they're intending to sign. So as you can see, we're on the 29th when he intended to sign on the 28th because we originally had the only offer for him. Then another team has come in with a second offer. So now I'm going to tell you how we can deal with this so a guy doesn't steal our player. We're going to go to a contract. You can see that our team's offer is 2 years at 7.5 at 4.5. So we do have the top offer, but I think I'm going to throw him a little bit more money so we don't get competed against. You're not going to see what that team is specifically, but just know that a team is signing against you. So in this case, I just want to try to probably give them a little more bonus money. More bonus money is always the best for the player because that's guaranteed money that's going to be paid to them even if we release them. But this will be split over 2 years, so it'll only be $1 million overall on a cap hit. So if, for example, he does fall off at 30, it wouldn't be the worst thing. Or also, he would be a good extension candidate into his early 30s if he can keep up production with his intercepting. Like, he has just great ratings for a quarterback, good physical pass defense, good intercepting, good diagnosis. At 28, we'll revise our offer here to, 250K increase. Actually, you know what? We'll give him 500K more just to be safe because I really want a decent nickelback. Look at the photograph. All right. So now he is going to be considering our offer. The largest is now $8 million with $5 million guaranteed. We will look at that and we will see now if he will accept our offer or the other team's offer by simulating a day. And he signed with us. So again, that's if you ever see a competing offer in your free agency pool. You always want to check that player's card and the contracts and try to, if you're serious about signing them, revising your offer to a higher offer. Usually the extra bonus money will get them to sign with you if you are so inclined. And free agency is over. This is our haul. I mean, excluding the guys awaiting offer, we can literally see our signed guys here. We got Derek Barnett to hopefully give us a third decent defensive lineman with our scheme change to a 4-3. We signed Greg Gaines and BJ Hill to be our main guys in that 4-2 scheme. We got Marlon Humphrey to hopefully replace Dane Jackson and Lonnie Johnson. We were able to get both DK Metcalf and Deebo Samuel. Yes, they are a little bit old at 27 and 29, but they are definitely an improvement over David Moore and Deontay Johnson for our main core. And then we have Brett Ripien, I think mainly as a camp body, just as a third quarterback to compete with Andy Dalton, I think. If Andy Dalton falls off and just becomes not a playable quarterback. We can see where some of the top free agents signed. If you want to take a peek at that in this save and try to keep up with the world, you can see Adigazua to Las Vegas, kind of like their attempt to get rid of Max Crosby and replace him. Any other interesting ones? Detroit playing Brian O'Neill a bunch of money. Not really seeing any. What about quarterbacks? Justin Fields to Pittsburgh for $429. That's crazy. Jeff Driscoll, 2 years, $11 million to the Giants. Sorry, believe that is. Yeah, to the Rams. Okay. Sam Darnold, 5 years. He got that money from Tennessee. Oh boy. Damn, that's a good contract. Okay. One telling that Sam Darnold's gonna win a Super Bowl this year in real life. Because again, we are a year behind in 2025 with the rosters in this game. A little baseline. So we can see Akeem Ekwonu. He's on the final year of his contract, but he was our first round pick in 2022, which was the option to add a fifth-year extension added to his contract as a first-round pick. So instead of renegotiating this massive payday, which we do not have the money for because we only have $7 million with our free agency contracts, we will simulate 1 day. And we will automatically be brought to this fifth-year screen. If for whatever reason you sim past to get knocked off or whatever reason, again, you can go to league overview, financial, and then fifth year right here. So yeah, Akeem Ekwonu. Today, this player is listed above is eligible for a 1-year contract extension at the average of the top 5 and top 20 players in the league at his position group. Akeem Ekwonu is 100% worth this money. He's so good. So we will definitely extend that contract. So you get that 1 year. We can see that's a totally non-guaranteed contract as well. So say, for example, if we randomly fell to a 40, we'd have no risk in releasing him. We get $24 million in cap relief. Also gives us a little more flexibility in being able to re-sign him. So we can change some of this $24 million into a signing bonus and hopefully get some of his overall salary cap cost down. Maybe, depending on how he plays, to the 20 million, 18 million. We'll see. All right, so we will simulate 1 day, and now we're going to get to the draft preview. We are 1 day before the draft, so we can see, again, top quarterbacks haven't changed. This won't change from when you originally have it developed, but now mocks are available, so you can see who they want us to take. These are all just AI assessments of your team and your roster capabilities, so that you can see. I think that we should take this Schlinat guy. I hate that name. But they have us taking Kim Lovelace and Daryl Alcantar. In most of these, this Abel Savino guy. So let's look at the draft. Abel Savino's right here. If you are looking at this and so, wow, there's a lot of numbers. This is very confusing. What am I supposed to look at when it comes to player generation? Look first at this column right here, their ratings column. This is their potential ratings for all their most important attributes. So you can't click them and get a full deep dive. You kind of gotta guess. So that also plays into both their interview score. So this is when our coaches interviewed them at either their combine or their pro day, and we can kind of get a sense of who these players are. So we can see the initial impression was very overrated. He's got a very high leadership, which again, all of these correspond to these over here. So all of these combine splits will be what they had in the draft. All of these character things will show up in their interviews. So we can see here Schlinat has Schlienat, has very high leadership, very strong personality, but he's not very loyal to this team. So we may have to pay him more to keep him past his 5th-year option if we end up taking him first overall, or where it's like Casey Bork. I think most of these quarterbacks they have overrated. This is again why you want to put emphasis into your coaching staff, into these interviewing things. So the higher your interviewers are, your points are here, will give you more accurate scouting ratings. So, for example, it's like the interviews will tell you how well they may live up to the ratings that are displayed here. And then the combine will also give you more emphasis on certain attributes. So, for example, this guy scored very high in the Solecismic, which is like the Wonderlic test. That's the test that they take. So, like, I think a 50 is like a perfect score. So this guy scored a 48, which is crazy. So we can see how that is kind of contributing to his ratings right here. He has great 2-minute offense, great footwork, great improvisation, great comp. So all his mental ratings are there. Some of the physical aspects may not be there when it comes to his accuracy, his pass timing. Doesn't seem to be a very big runner because he's ran a 4.3, which is not stupid impressive. But Casey Bork right here, Kerry Bork right here, he ran a 4.49. So I'd have to imagine, yep, you can see his likes to run is way higher than Schlienat. So we can kind of get a sense right here of who these type of players are. He's 6'6", my goodness, and you're in a 4.49. Jesus. Yeah, so like we can see Schlienat as a quarterback, just this is basic evaluation. You can see he's more of a pocket passer. Good reads, can get down the field. He has good footwork, so he probably will develop well in the future. Whereas Bork, if we're looking at a quarterback, has terrible footwork, so he may not develop as well to a passer. And we can see also he doesn't have the best deep range arm strength, but he's a fantastic athlete. So like he can run, he makes good passes, good passing time. He is confident about it. He can improvise when he needs to. So he's kind of those like run and gun gunslinger types, who doesn't have the best arm strength, but he makes up for it with his athleticism. Whereas with Schlienat, he may not be the most athletic guy in the world, but it seems like he is a good mental passing and good passing at base. I also want you to focus on when it comes to evaluating, look at this volatility rating you may be seeing at the bottom. That is their direct risk of being either a boom or bust prospect. So guys with high volatility, like for example, here with Abel Savino, which is one of the guys that we were mocked to take, you can see that this is an absolutely insane rusher. This man has full out rush defense, pass rush technique, and pass strength, which are the things that directly attribute to getting sacks and tackles for loss and tackles behind the line of scrimmage. He also has pretty decent endurance and defensive diagnosis. He also has very high volatility as well. This volatility will directly pertain to if he will meet his full potential and exceed that, or crash out and burn and do absolutely terrible. So high volatility guys can be 90 overalls or 85 overalls. They can also be 30 overalls within a year. So it's very important to look at that and see what kind of risk you want to take on a player. Like Freddie Smith in comparison still has the same, like not as outstanding of a ratings as Abel Savino, but still he's the same height. He's 6'4", he's 325. He's around 295, but the main thing I'm looking at here is the volatility. Freddie Smith may develop into this player, but he's not going to exceed and be that player. There's also less risk in Freddie Smith absolutely just flaming out as a player as well. But I would argue Abel Savino's ratings, and also probably his interview, shows that he could be a decent player. He may have some knee issues, may have some ankle issues. He also has short arms too, which I've never really seen be an actual effect in this game. Like short arms is directly right here. Usually you want guys over 34, I believe, and they won't have it. So like for example here, this mainly shows up on defensive linemen and offensive linemen. So like Damon Pendleton right here, he has short arms because he has 33 and 6/8 of an inch. Where Trayvon Haynes is 34, and he has no notes for short arms. So those things you can keep in mind if you're. I don't really buy into that. I mean, if they're a good enough player, like I'd probably take Damon Pendleton any day of the week. I like to look at my roster and see what our main weaknesses are. We probably need a quarterback. We can maybe look at a running back in round 2-3. I definitely think we're going to take a quarterback in either the first or third overall pick because our best quarterback on this roster is Andy Dalton, who is 37 years old. That's not going to fly. And I kind of want to take. Maybe if that Abel Savino guy is in the 3rd overall pick, we can take that as well. But we can have some fun here. Since we are drafting up so high with only the Gladiators or the Giants in front of us. So let's start this draft, and I'll show you my process. We will continue the draft. So we still have the mocks for right now, but we do have the 1st overall pick. So we do not want to hit auto select because I will automatically select Abel Savino based on what our scout suggests. I really kind of want to take this Schlienat guy. He's pretty good, but again, we do have 3 other options when it comes to Ricky Corral, who just has bad foot. Like, it is, the bad footwork is kind of putting me off of both these guys, and just the 48 Solecismic is outstanding for a quarterback. I think that's probably one of the highest. Yeah, outside of this guy, who's like mid 3rd round pick, and then Bork at 41. This guy, oh, holy shit. Fuck you, Robert Hunt. We might be grabbing that guy that's crazy. Well, obviously, I'm not going to take a center 1st overall, but if we can get this guy in the 2nd, that'd be fantastic. So let's keep an eye on George McIntyre. Again, look for these guys, because Solecismic's the only thing that shows up on these guys who don't actually go to the combine in this draft. So you can find some absolute gems of guys who scored high in the Solecismic, but didn't end up going to the combine. Like this kicker. That can be a pretty decent kicker. Or like this linebacker who was rated a 5 in the grades. But look at those ratings. Look, they could be a great pass and physical rusher. So make sure you keep an eye out and start developing strategies to finding gems in the rough. But I don't think we're going to overthink this. I think we're just going to take this Schlienat guy first. We don't really have a running offense when it comes to it, because, again, we have West Coast, so we're kind of looking for a passing style offense, getting it out to our wide receivers, and letting our running backs mainly take the push. So we will take Schlienat, 6'3". He's got decent hand size. Nothing wrong about that. Maybe some character concerns in the future, but he absolutely just nailed the combine, got 100 overall, and did what he needed to do. So coming out of Penn State, probably the best quarterback coming out of Penn State. Drew Aller, Christian Hackenberg, Trace Smith. I'm trying to think of any good Penn State quarterbacks. No, I don't know any. All right, so let's take Schlienat, and I can keep mispronouncing his name. And there we go. So how I did that too is that you got to hover over the guy, and then you want to go down here and then click select. That's how we select. Again, continue to next team pick. We'll do it slow for real quick, and I'll show you how to draft quick. So let's see who the Giants pick. They took Harry Borg. So they were going to take a quarterback. So I think that if we go right here to draft list, this will show the people that we have taken. Let's take a peek and see if Schlienat is good. Yes, he is. 72. Oh my goodness. This guy is fantastic. Let's go. That's a great quarterback. Probably needs to work a little bit on his decision making and intermediate throwing in offseason. But I'm very happy with that pickup. First of all, let's hope Bork isn't better. And no, so he is not, but he can really run it 100 overall. So you can see we probably made the best pick for the draft when it came to the quarterbacks. Again, don't overthink it. Pick the guy that you feel that is the best and run with it. I think we are going to take this Abel Savino guy because the thing is, I'm going to convert him to a nose tackle. As you can see, this fit best is in a 3-4 nose. Actually, this Walt Ledger guy at a 4, because we again, if you remember, we changed over to a 4-3 rather than a 3-4, and this guy's 325. So he's either going to lose weight in the offseason to become a defensive end, or we keep him at defensive end and he's going to be way overweight for that. Whereas we can get Walt Leisure, who's at 289, already fits a 4-3. And if we look at our defense, we're kind of missing that like third, fourth defender outside of Derek Barnett on this line. So yeah, we'll take Walt Leisure. Again, best player available right here against the advice of our scout who really wants Abel Savino. Let's hope Abel Savino's not like a 90 overall, but we'll see. We'll take Walt Leisure there. Oh my fucking goodness. 83. Like, that's fantastic. I am loving this draft already. We are doing stupendous. Also, too, like, he's got decently high volatility, too, so maybe he could pick it up a little bit. We could continue to the end of the day, and this will do a slow individual pick. So let's see what gets taken next, for example. So Corral went that, then Savino, Ashcraft, Pendleton. So this will just slowly tick down till the end of the round. You can also click this button here. So boom. Now, first round is done. We can go to the draft list, and we can see how everything basically struck out. 3 quarterbacks go in the top 5. That's pretty normal. You will see a lot of wide receivers and running backs go like 1st to 5th overall, which would never happen in the real NFL. But this game loves skill positions. Not in this aspect, because most teams already have like a pretty decent running back from what I remember when the game automatically loads, depending on what your X factors and randomness is. But let's just take a quick look at like the top 10. Wiki Corral. Oh my, see, I'm glad we didn't pick him. In comparison to what he's also 24 as well. He's pretty old. Decent volatility, so maybe you can do something, but there's like nothing on this. Oh, he might bust. Abel Savino. Yeah, he's pretty good. All right, yeah, he's pretty decent. He's a little bit better than Walt Leisure, but I think Walt Leisure is going to fit our scheme better than Abel Savino would have. And then Ashcraft, pretty okay. Pendleton, pretty decent. Dave Overton, that's a out of the box, pretty decent cornerback. Fennell's pretty decent. Hayes, see, like this, like that's also the thing too. When you're looking at the draft, there's also the fully developed. There's guys that sometimes need time to develop. There's sometimes guys who come right out of the box and are just good. Like Overton, he doesn't need much developing. He's in volatility, so like, he could develop more, or he could also crash out as well. In comparison to like Trayvon Haynes, he's got high volatility, but he's only at 34 out of 70. So like he could meet this, but you cannot plug this guy right in your left tackle. You're gonna need to sign somebody. Whereas like Pendleton, you can maybe get away with this guy at left tackle. This guy, right? We want this guy bad. This guy is crazy. Let's simulate tomorrow and hope we will continue. Oh, he went. Damn it! That dude's gonna be like a 90. I'm telling you. Yeah, son of a bitch, man. He's 85 overall as a center. That's crazy. I doubt there's gonna be any like this guy. I mean, this guy's still pretty good too. But I'd rather see if we maybe try my luck, get him in the 3rd round. I think we have no arguments against this guy at guard. That's what our scout suggests too. That's a pretty decent running back, but we don't need him because we have Chuba Hubbard. Again, running backs, look for that hole recognition. If you see hole recognition, speed, and elusiveness, that is an A+ player, and they will be great. He just ran a pretty bad 40 for running back, and yeah, our interview is not too good about him. But we will continue. I think, yeah, we just take Javon Lowe. Don't overthink it. This man did great in the combine. Got 100 score and everything. He's as scouted, leadership high, he's very loyal. Looks like a great guy, great character. So we'll pick him up. Fantastic. I love that. I think we've hit all 80s. I wish we got that McIntyre guy, but it seems like not. So we will quickly simulate to the 3rd round. Our team wants to take another guard, Greenspan. No, we probably don't need to. I think we might just take this guy. A little bit of a reach in the grand scheme of things. There's like so many other tackles, but it is very hard to switch a tackle into like a center or a guard. So I think we'll forego taking this guard, even though he looks pretty okay. In span, oh man, he's pretty decent too. In span, this guy who didn't go to the combine. All right, let's take Nicholas Monday. 3. Dude, we are doing fantastic. Give me the money. Show me the money. All right, now we can have some fun here. I think I want to take a cornerback. I'm trying to look at our roster. Maybe actually now we should probably take a running back. Let's take a look at these running backs real quick. All of them are bad. Oh my, okay, yeah. Like look at this guy, Julius Murillo. Man, his 40 time was terrible. And he has some back, shoulder, and ankle issues. Decent character though. But yeah, I would probably also agree he is pretty overrated. That's a terrible 40 time for a running back. Like 4.7, like brother, that would get you undrafted. Like, but you can see like that's the problem. That look at that volatility though. He's got 99 volatility most likely with insane hole recognition, elusiveness, blitz pickup, and strength. So like this is a power back, but he's 5'8".
214. Oh my goodness, dude. This dude's a twig. Oh my gosh. I think I got to take this guy for the meme. That's absolutely crazy. Um, so yeah, Julius Murillo, and then we'll try to get. Cause I'm like looking at these cornerbacks. These cornerbacks are looking pretty decent too. Nah, no, we'll take this guy. 5'8" wrecking ball out of Western Michigan. Hey, actually, yeah, we're definitely taking him now because that's my alma mater. Doxing myself, who cares? Uh, we're gonna take that guy. I think Julius Murillo. So again, like even though he's the fifth running back down here, I personally think that he has the potential to be something and decent fourth round running back for us to maybe supplement Jubal Hubbard. There is no note for him not being a third down back. I think as a power back, he can be a great third down option for us. So we'll take a peek at Murillo. 51, I'll take that any day of the week with 99 volatility. So this guy could go bonkers too. He still has 40% of his development to go. So we'll see if this whole recognition can get up to the 50s. He's at a Loves Park. I know a guy from there. That's crazy. All right. No, fire up Illinois. I'm kidding. All right. No, I think we're just not going to overthink it. Just get like this guy's great, man. He's a man guy. It's the fifth round of the draft. If this guy can contribute anything for us, that'd be fantastic. There we go. We'll take Theodore Bohm. We need a punter and kicker, I think, don't we? Because yeah, we don't have Panero. So let's take the kicker and go to the freaking combine. That'd be funny, wouldn't it? New Baltimore. Fuck New Baltimore, Michigan, by the way. Fuck that place. I hate New Baltimore. I'm sorry if anybody's from New Baltimore, Michigan. I hate you. Thank you. All right. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I mean, we probably could get better, but who hasn't taken a kicker in the sixth round and had it blow up in their face? At least they're not taking it like Roberto Aguayo or Jake Moody. So we'll take Brock Bagley, see what he can do. Looks pretty decent. Oh my goodness. Britt Rambert, brother. Yeah, all right, let's give it a shot. He didn't go to the combine too. He's a 3-4 inside linebacker. I know I wanted to get a strong side 4-3. Only thing is he might be a little bit undersized. At 6 foot, 245. Yeah, he'll be fine. I don't know. Again, don't overthink it. He's didn't go to the combine. He says it's overrated, but it's the seventh round. Who cares? We'll take Britt Rambert, and we will continue to the end of the day or to the end of the draft. I mean, our scout wanted us to take a linebacker anyways. And we'll see this draft haul. Schlienat, again, 72 overall. Absolutely fantastic with that as a quarterback. Walt Leisure, 83 potential. Decent volatility as well. Could maybe hit that. Javon Lowe. I'm loving that as well. On the down low. He's got low volatility, but this guy is going to be an immediate starter for us on the line. I'm very excited. And Nicholas Monday as well. He's also probably going to be starting for us, and hopefully he can hit that. And he won't flame out because he's a low volatility as well. So I think that he could probably be a decent 50 to 60 overall, all said and done through his development. He still has 50% of his development to go as well, at only 22. We can see I think the oldest guy we got is low at 24. So we'll see. We'll see if he's able to develop fully in. Murillo, I'm really happy with as a fourth round running back. 51 overall potential with high volatility. This is a guy to keep an eye on. Theodore Bohm, 51 could maybe be a contributor if he hits. He could also be a cam cut as well, but 51 out of a fifth round cornerback, I'm not complaining about. Let's look at Brock Bagley. Not that good, but he's 20. He can maybe develop into something crazy. I had one save for a punter. I took a flyer on him in the seventh round, and he turned into like a 99 overall for like 10 years for no reason. It was just my best player on the team was just a punter the entire time. Okay, so now we're going to Britt Rambert. Fantastic pick. 52 overall, the seventh round pick. Oh my goodness. Again, look out for those guys. Like I think we took 4 or 5 guys who didn't go to the combine. Or sorry, like 3 or 4 guys who didn't go to the combine. So keep an eye out. Like just because they didn't go to the combine, don't have these ratings here, doesn't mean that they're automatically bad. Sometimes they might be hiding something special. So hopefully he can hit his potential as well and be a decent contributor for this team. Late free agency, you're able to sign those released extended free agents. There's one person I had in mind, and there's one person I had left, and I hope that he's still available. He is not. Ryan Stonehouse re-signed, but we can see here there's a Jaquan Nielsen who went undrafted, who is nuts as a punter. So we will probably sign this guy as a priority free agent. When it comes to signing priority free agents, they're not going to sign a fully unguaranteed multi-year contract without some guaranteed money. So if I try to offer this to Jaquan Nilsson, he will not take that without at least 10 grand in bonus money. So you're going to think, if you want a 5-year contract, you need at minimum 50 grand. That's what I'm going to do for him, because this could be a fantastic deal at 82 overall for a punter. Not the best at kick holding or kickoffs, so we'll probably leave that to Brock. But we'll make this offer here. And it's only going to cost us $800,000 in the first season. This is a fantastic contract. If he takes it, which I hope he does. And be on these teams collected. You'll have guys, again, like this guy would probably be a priority free agent right here. Decent volatility, decently developed, and he could maybe good, again, diagnosis, defense, run defense, and pass run strength. Those are all fantastic things. Let's add him on as on a 4-year deal, minimum bet. So we're back on our free agency screen, and we can see the guys that we have offered are priority free agents. Will again show up here. They will not show up anywhere on here unless they have not signed. Ooh, Nick Westbrook and Kine is unsigned. I don't believe in Deontay Johnson. All right, cool. So now we just signed. We got all those guys. Oh my goodness. So of course Brian. So Bradley Bryan has a decent amount of offers for him, which makes sense. He's a 56 overall, fresh out of that draft, a really decent potential select. And we'll revise that offer. It's like AJ Benke also got a decent amount. And we'll revise that offer. We should still be okay on cap room. Looks like Jaquan Nilsson signed with us. This guy's gonna be fantastic. Akeem Houston has 3 more offers as well. I don't get why Akine hasn't signed with us. So I'm not too ill-advised giving them some extra money. And cool. Accept the offer, you screwball. All right, Akine signed. Akeem Houston should sign, and he does. Let's simulate one day. Let's get to the summer vacation and weight training real quick. Let's do simulate 81. This is the weight training screen. So what I want to do first is I want to sort by ideal weight, and then by this middle none. This will basically automatically sort the guys who can slim down, who can do both, either slim down or bulk up. Your guys who can only bulk up, and then technically your guys who can't do both. So we want him to slim out, my boy. Lose some weight, hit the treadmill. Same with Brian Ray. Basically, you want to try to get these guys as close as you can to their ideal weights, or if you do position changes. So like Walt Leisure, for example, I don't want him on the defensive. I don't want him on the line, bro. I want the other guys on our defensive end. So he may be a little bit short. You can't grow a man in a vat in this game, but 6'1" is not too bad for a defensive lineman. So he only went down from an 83 to an 81. I'm perfectly fine with that. And he should be within the weight, maybe need to slim down a little bit rather than trying to bulk up to a defensive nose tackle that he's never going to play. I think we also, with this addition of Walt Leisure, might change Derek Barnett to a strong side linebacker to get that linebacker I was looking for. So we have that option because of his current weight, which is 259. Say for example, if Derek Barnett was 275 pounds, he would not be able to play linebacker. But we are able to change it to a strong outside linebacker. Again, weight is significantly above average for his current position. He's really light for defensive end. And he's above average, so we might have to slim out if he's a linebacker. You usually don't need to slim out most of these guys unless you do drastic position changes. Just get a few of these guys on the weight program. This guy should go down a little bit. DJ Wanham is 260. Are you kidding me, brother? Stop eating all the Wawa, my boy. What the fuck? Chilling. Nope, you need to go down, dude. What's up with my linebacker? All my linebackers are overweight. That's funny. There's some guys, too, that can do both. You can either slim them down or bulk them up. So like in the case of Greg Gaines, probably want him to bulk up a little bit because he's going to be a straight up defensive nose tackle. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Jadeveon Clowney is pretty light for a defensive end. Sean Robinson's really heavy for a defensive end. Guys who can't slim down because either they're way too heavy or just they've done it before and they can't. So like most of our wide receivers don't need to slim down. I mean, they could slim down, but also they're all over 6 foot. Like, it might actually help them with their size that they have. We have a very large wide receiving room. I think all are 6 foot. And so this is now training camp. So now this will be where players' ratings will be affected as they can progress through this day. You can usually tell by here before or after training camp. So most of our guys that we just drafted show like Schlinat, for example. He only has ratings right now from 2025 before training camp. After training camp happens, there may be an increase or decrease in his ratings. That's all determined like right before the first preseason game starts, I believe. We might just sim through the preseason. This is also our playbook deadline. So again, we did change our playbook from mainly Smash Mouth to West Coast, I believe. Yeah, decent amount of West Coast. That's our main core right down there. So a lot of 1-1-3. I think it's out of the under center most of the time. A few shotgun plays in there. I'm not hating that at all. Looks like we got a decent amount of spread too, which is mainly a 1-1-3 formation as well. So yeah, so decent amount of Smash Mouth, decent amount of Elherd Perkins. I'm mainly running on a 1-1-3, it seems like. So if we know what our skill, we know that this is going to be our main formation over here. So this is going to be our most important, probably 2-1-2, 2-2-1 are going to be our next two that we need to look out for when it comes to setting our roster. So again, this is also if you want to change any of the playbook, we can do that too. I could remove it if I really wanted to. I don't really want to. We have a decent amount of pass plays for our new quarterback, who's again a pocket passer kind of guy. Don't have many run plays. Again, our running offense is not good, wasn't good last year. It's mainly going to be Murillo and Hubbard. So I want to focus on getting Schleenat some passes, man. I want to just get guys. I want to get the ball to these new wide receivers. We got Deebo Samuel, Jonathan Mingo can be hopefully decent. DK Metcalf. We have Akine as a big body as well. Jatavian Sanders can be a producer there. So I'm happy with this playbook and what the AI's got for me. So we're looking to have a decent pass offense this year if we are able to make it work. All right, well, we will simulate through. Let's do a little quick coordinator depth chart. Let's again go through our schedule and just fire through these real quick. It looks like it was mainly Dalton's fault, not Schleenat's. Good running on a okay. Fuck you, Miles Sanders. Putting up 86 yards, 14.3 a carry with. Oh my goodness, why don't you do that in real life, my boy? Come on. I don't think you could. Schleenat threw a pick again. Dalton being terrible. Oh, Jesus Christ. Chuba Hubbard. Oh yeah, okay, there you go. That's more like it, Miles Sanders. Yeah, we just got absolutely just dog walked. Jonathan Mingo did pretty well though. I'm like, yeah, they still have Tua in this save, right? Okay, they do, and they still think Tua's good for some whatever freaking reason. Looks like mainly Brock Bagley for most of the points. Cedric Tillman. Let's see, Deshaun. He who shall not be named. Miles Sanders. What the fuck is Miles Sanders on, man? 2.6, 35 attempts. Whoa. What the hell? This is a preseason game. Why are you giving him up? Okay, I'm wasting way too much time, but that is insane. You gave him 35 attempts at 2.69. I'm cutting him. I'm cutting his ass. He's so bad. We can see when it comes to Schleenat. Let's check that after. So we can see that boy, he hit his volatility. You can see after training camp, he's now an 84 potential from a 66. So he is getting better. I'm very happy about that. Chuba Hubbard, my golden goose. He's gone. Jonathan Mingo, what happened to you? No. So you can see some guys, so like he has high volatility. That 80 volatility kind of bit him in the ass. He was a 50 before training camp. Now he's 31. And he basically lost his ability to catch up football. So that's fantastic. Let's get down to 53 players real quick. Let's do our Johnson. He's hurt though. What's going on? Injured reserve. See you later, dude. Got him. It didn't do too well. Ryan Ray will probably cut him. Actually, I'm gonna cut Shamar Bartholomew because he has no guaranteed money. He's 5'8". We'll be fine. DJ Wonham, get the hell off my roster. He's worth $7 million. Go away. You get out of here. Yeah. I mean, with he's 31. He's not gonna do much better. Cool. We need to get rid of one more guy. We'll get rid of Andrew Ryan or Andrew Ram, not Andrew Ryan. A man obeys. 53. So let's just do some inactives. Let's get Ripien, Sanders down. We'll keep Mingo on the roster. We'll have him ride the bench the entire season. we'll have Chandler Savala sit out too. Maybe Houston and Jamie Robinson? No, Jamie Robinson and David Barnett. The upgrades look like they swapped Low to right guard, Damian Lewis to left. Skill positions, let's do a little reset on that one. Yeah, I agree because Mingo absolutely shat the bed this preseason. So Leggett at the X with Metcalf main again. But if you look at it, if you look at our playbook, Metcalf's still going to get the majority of the targets in 2-1-2 and 1-1-3. And yeah, I probably agree with having Chuba Hubbard as even though he absolutely fell off a cliff. And yeah, Julius Murillo, man, ugh, damn, that's kind of unfortunate. Hoping that he could still be a contributor. He's still probably the best running back on our roster right now. Looks like we have Tuttle moved up with Gaines and BJ Hill, but we got rid of Clowney's tired status, so I'm fine with that. DJ Wonham's not playing anymore on the short. JC Horner and Humphrey and unchanged there to Castro Fields as well. Cool, cool, cool. So I think that we might call that. You can see our full. We only have one person got hurt throughout the entire preseason, which you can see our starting roster right here. I thank you for joining me here on this fantastic tutorial for Front Office Football 9 by Solecismic software. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. If you hate it, you hate it, but I love you. So thank you for joining me and have a great rest of your day or night. Who cares? Bye-bye.